you going to sell your property and you're wondering which documents are going to be important? Do you know what the acronym SRPD means? Or what a prelim is and why it's important? I'm here to help guide you through the process. Aloha, I'm Jill Ward with Century 21 Island Homes, and welcome to another episode of Aloha Oahu. Today we're talking about documents that you are going to want to have in hand in advance of selling your home on Oahu. I help people relocate and move on island. So if you have any additional questions or need assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. In this video, we're going to talk about two documents in particular, the SRPD and the prelim. And I'm going to tell you why you're going to want these two things before you sell. So let's dive in. What is an SRPD? The SRPD is an acronym that stands for Seller's Real Property Disclosure. It is a 5+ page document in which the sellers tell the buyer any material facts they know about the property. It is required by law. The sellers disclose everything from general disclosures, like whether a property is in a flood zone, the utilities and services that are available and their general costs, and if the property is part of an association or any improvements have been made to the property. Often, the media section of the SRPD is the defects, repairs, and replacement section of the report. It is here that sellers need to tell the buyers about past and present issues with the property. These include appliances to foundation, to the windows, and everything in between. If you replaced the refrigerator, great, write that down. If there was a plumbing leak in your kitchen and you had to have that fixed and the cabinet replaced, include that. This is the place where you let the buyer know every little thing you know about the property so that they are informed and so it does not come back to bite you. My advice is disclose, disclose, disclose everything. So now that we've talked about the SRPD, let's talk about the other document I think you should have, the preliminary title report. The good news is, as a seller, there's no form to complete for this. As your realtor, I will request this document from the title and escrow company. The preliminary title report, or prelim for short, contains a lot of specific information about the property. The preliminary title report will give you information such as the property's legal description. It often gives a history of the property documents that have been filed up to that point, can describe any easements or access to the property, and the terms under which a title policy will be issued. When I get a copy of a title report, the first things I look at is how much the seller owes on the property and if there are any liens. I also check for any encroachments on record, and if so, are there any encroachment agreements? So why do I advise my clients to have these two documents and other documents in line before we list? As soon as I know that a seller is going to list their house, I start pulling about a dozen or so documents and start compiling information. Why, you ask? Because I do not like real estate surprises. I want my sellers to be able to go through this process as smoothly as possible. We want to know if there are any issues that need to be resolved, as many as possible before we actually go on the market. Neither the buyer nor the seller wants to be in the middle of a transaction and find out that the property cannot be closed on for some reason or another. So it's important to take care of any issues in advance. I come from the perspective of helping my sellers have the smoothest transaction possible, and part of that is getting our ducks in a row early. If you have specific questions about getting your home ready to go on the market, please feel free to reach out. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more information on everything Oahu real estate. My name is Jill Ward with Century 21 Island Homes. Thank you for watching. Aloha.